Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to the Radical Racing Challenge live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Alessandro Dalladone, Mark Chancer operating the production tonight. We're here for week 2 of this official series championship. And Alessandro, we are back in the UK. It is Oulton Park, and pretty excited about this one. We've got a terrific field. So many drivers signing up for this race. This is a free circuit. It's really been very accessible for the drivers. And so we should have some high quality racing hopefully around your old school circuit.
Indeed, Sam. It's going to be very interesting to see what the drivers will bring on the table tonight after such an interesting and thrilling round at Watkins Glen last week. A completely different circuit, but nevertheless I expect a lot of shuffling in the opening laps. This is quite an interesting layout. We are racing at the international circuit with no chicane, so slipstream is going to be definitely very important on the backstretch.
Absolutely, this place is so tight now. When you have those chicanes, overtaking really does become a premium. But this lack of chicanes, it should make the racing a little bit more possible. And this is the part of the circuit that we're talking about. Often you would go left, then right, and then left. At that one, you should try past it, tip where you're coming up to another one just in a bit. And it really does change the action quite a bit, enables you to go for a move into the right-hander. So that will be a big spot for the race tonight. Of course, currently in 8 minutes, qualifying session, 4 more minutes to go in this one, and it's a familiar face on the front of the grid at the moment, as Sanjay Kane Halliburton. And it wasn't exactly an ideal round for him last time out Watkins Glen. You know, he was beaten to pole position in the late stages. He was down to 3rd place at the start, but he showed his pace, and well, it's looking like he is going to get pole position at the moment as he just made necessary lap times. He's 0.2 of a second clear.
Yeah, very good laps for these drivers. Kicking almost moving up into first for a tiny bit, but Halliburton manages to improve his lap time in the second flying lap. Erling Baba just moved up to second place, almost within a tenth from the qualifying leader. So It's a very tight field, as you can see. The gaps are very, very narrow, and qualifying, especially here, Sam, it's very, very important, because we were saying that Bexas is definitely a very good passing spot, but the track is very narrow, and the first lap can be a little bit tough in the midfield.
Yeah, that turn 1, I've seen so many incidents, and even the run down to kind of 2 and 3 as well. As we were saying before, you know, it's narrow at the right hand, it's narrow all the way around the circuit, so to get through over 20 cars will be tricky for the drivers. So yeah, a good qualifying position would really be a luxury for all these drivers. You can see Aaron Bubba up there, John Aldridge only the seat number 14, third position at the moment. Still got Fuentes, sets a lap time. Yeah, I think Fuentes is the only one who's still got an eligible lap time still to be posted. So he's got a few personal bests as well, so this may put up the car number 13, a since he'll be approaching the line at the moment. But did not improve on his position. He did set a lap time 20.23, but just stays in 20th place as the guys just get as much practice as they possibly can out here before we start this race, which should last about 25 to 30 minutes tonight. I mean, these drivers are fixed to a setup around this circuit, Alessandro, and of course that's one of the best things about this championship. It will make the order very evenly matched, and it looks fairly evenly matched today as well. I mean, only a few hundredths of a second separated most of the drivers.
Yeah, just a little bit more than a second is the gap between Halliburton and Fuentes in 20th place, so this shows you the quality of the field. The strength of field today is very, very high. So it's gonna be really, really interesting to see some drivers like here we have Sander van der Velde with number 4, almost 6,000 iRating, starting all the way in 18th place. It's gonna be important for him to make up a lot of places at the start, because having such a similar pace, it's gonna be really difficult to come through the field. So as Dylan Frackleton, who did not sweat a lap in this qualifying session, so he will still be starting from P21.
Yes, I think he's just starting a lap now, so yeah, he won't get a lap time in, which is a little bit of a shame. There you go, he doesn't move on the order, but yeah, Frackleton's starting, or car number 19, he'll be starting in 21st position. Yeah, interesting to see, you know, a couple of new drivers, really high iRacing, but if you're not tuned into this car, it's very tricky to do. I mean, I would know as the BSR Winter Series Radical Champion, it really does take a particular set of skills to master this machine. And so, yeah, a few drivers who, you know, in other categories, who way up the order, not up the order tonight at the moment. But the man who is at the top, as we have got used to, Ken Halliburton, and a tenth of a second is a fairly big gap compared to the rest of the order ahead of Aaron Bubba. But good to see Bubba up there. Sometimes struggles in qualifying, but he's in a real position here to attack the race leader, the pole sitter. In third place it's John Aldridge, alongside him it's Kike Ming, there's Manu Ray Olage, Ant Castles, Michael Reinhardt, Tommy Whittons, Daniel Beauchamp, and John McCutcheon rounding out the top 10. There's John Keaveney, Connor Bell rounds out the top 12. There's Eric Hanoi, Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Paul Taylor, Domenico Franco, one of the new drivers, Michael Doring, Sander Van der Vel, and there's Robert Woodward, Pepe Fuentes, Dylan Freckleton, and Johannes Hesterman rounding out this 22 car field. Do you think if Halliburton can get into turn 1 as the lead, Alessandro, that he's going to be able to run away with this one, or do you think Baba might be able to overtake him later on in the race?
It's gonna be very interesting to see if he can get a very good jump, and Baba is not clear of the guys behind. He might get such a big lead to at least try to pull away, but you know, some commentating on this series and driving this car a lot, that the slipstream is very strong even far away, so it's gonna be a very tough call.
It sure is. It's Kane Halliburton then on pole position, Bubba alongside him. And we are away racing at Oulton Park. It was a very aggressive start for some of the drivers on the third row of the grid, but it's all the same late. As for the leaders, O'Liger's off the circuit and will hit the wall, and Taylor and Kyriakopoulos also having problems. Onto feels O'Liger, who was jolting across the side of the circuit off the race start. All those drivers with a lot of damage, and that might just be their evenings over. As Halliburton leads the way, strong start from Hutchinson to gain 4 places. He was the last man on the grid, but that seemed to be a good tactic. He's apparently doing very well at the moment. As yeah, a few of the drivers further down the order tried to just recover, but unfortunately that wasn't a pile-up there, Alessandro, but that's a couple of big hits out of the running in the early stages.
Indeed, some drivers losing plenty of position, some others capitalizing on the mistakes. John Aldridge all the way back in 11th place from 3rd, as we see some drivers in the background going very wide at the right-hander after the backstretch, a very important trouble spot, especially for tires. And as you were saying earlier, Halliburton opening a gap of 7/10 on Erling Baba in P2 is still not enough, because Baba will have the draft next time Baba will go to the bench.
Also got a side race move there for Domenico Franco. It was a good start for Franco actually, but he's lost some of that good work. He's only up 1 place from his starts now. As just run a little bit wide, so I need to pick up a 1x there, but is very tempting to do so. You can get a bit of time as Ekman were watching with Van der Bell and keeping it just ahead of him. He's going to lose out though to Bell on this occasion. As it looks that way, he's gone so fast to the quick left-hander, and then get into the banked right-hander, where you really need all the downforce that the SR8 can provide. In 11th place. Keeping only in 8th position, because he got pole position last time out, Alessandri. Did fall back in race, but I think Keeping might be one to watch out for later.
Yeah, for sure. The race is quite long, 21 laps, and plenty of drama I know is gonna happen later in the race, when drivers will even try to make some more audacious move, but we have here a replay of the start. I saw Largo move on the right here, and indeed had some contact. I don't know if this affected his arrow, because this is quite a weird mistake for him. He managed to go back to pit road, but he's now out of the race.
I figure out who it would have been that he hit, as you see what happens here. Kyriakopoulos as well. I think he may have hit John Aldridge actually. I think you're right, I think it did bash in the steering. It's just slow motion, isn't it? Kyriakopoulos actually not with too much damage, so we'll be able to continue this race. And yeah, also, well, Taylor went off as well, but he's now out of the race, so
Sam, these were completely separate incidents, because Taylor went around or got tapped in a completely different accident to the one related with the other guys. So multiple accidents are one that we were predicting in qualifying.
Know what happened to John Aldridge. Apologies. He's down in 12th position at the moment. Is that something recent?
He tapped Kyriakopoulos at the start, and then he might have lost a little bit of time. He might have got a slow start at off the line. Let's see. We have a replay here, thanks to Mark Tranter, always very fast to give us the replays.
It was Aldridge, of course, who was very slow off the start, which caused O'Liger to make some evasive action. But that start really cost him bad, and he realised quite how bad it was. But yeah, he just gave up so many places, and then that second off, or that first off at least, hurting him even more. So the leaders staying fairly close to one another. Halliburton maintained that gap at about half a second. And of course, whilst the tow is very strong in these cars, the turbulent air is also present. Say it's massively strong, albeit when you're chasing down the driver and it does feel very strong. but compared to other cars, it's not too bad. And so you got that kind of counter force to the draft, so it can be tricky to overtake. I think around a circuit like this, yeah, turbulence probably going to be slightly stronger than the draft, but you know what, Bubba's getting closer here, and around this part of the circuit, it's kind of doing quite a few straights, but struggling to stay close through the right-hander. Yeah, going to be tricky for Bubba here, because before you have that long back straight, you have quite a few corners just beforehand, so it's tricky to kind of be close in the right areas.
Indeed, these long sweeping corners are where if you're following somebody, it's gonna be difficult to keep up. But if he's in close enough at the start of the back straight, it's quite a long straight without the chicanes. There is gonna be the chance to make a pass work. As good work is trying to attack on Michael Doring, but at the same time now has to defend from Pepe Fuentes. Look at the inside of these very difficult corners where if you just miss slightly your breaking point or your marker, you might end up really easily into the grass.
Yeah, and once you reach the grass, there's not a lot of run on very either, so you can get quite a bit of damage onto your car. As Robert Woodward with the image invisible race car, and he's got a cat there as well, so he's doing the cat. I'm not down for it. So I like that one. I know it's not that's going to be like a photo of the driver, very far shot, but well, we'll take a look at it and get one. Daniel Bouchon, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, can't remember how he told me to say it, but he's running well in 7th place, fairly inexperienced driver on the broadcast. But he's got quite a few cars behind. Of course, John Keaveney, I'll remind you again, of course, pole sitter and had many laps at Watkins Glen last week. Tends to be a bit faster in qualifying than the race does Keaveney, but I still think 8th place is not doing justice to his talents. And also Bouchon with a little bit of damage as well. That's not what he needs.
Yeah, Daniel, the 15 car is a bit slower compared to the drivers in front and opened a sizable gap between P6 and the group is leading all the way in 10th position with Conor Bell. But he's definitely doing a very good job. We heard from him also at the end of the race at Watkins Glen, was very happy about the result and looking forward to get some more good positions. As you see, drivers dropping their tires on the grass on the entrance of the right-hander, as we see someone going very, very wide in the back.
Side by side around this part, this can easily go wrong. Oh, but that's brilliant driving there from Van der Wel and also Bell right there. So did well to stay alongside for as long as they did. It's a good quality racing right there from those two drivers. I think that was a move there for Bell to get past. As Aldridge is started up in 3rd place, stuck behind Eric Hanoi at the moment. Also a quick shout out as well to SDK Gaming, the provider of our overlay that you can see up on screen, the time tell on the left, and all the different stuff as well scattered across the screen. And of course you can get yourself a very similar overlay, in fact it's identical overlay, but lots of customization as well on it from SDK-gaming.co.uk. Visit there and you can get yourself an SDK subscription, which is of course great for broadcasting, streaming, and also as a heads-up display as well. Here is Bell. He is still under pressure then from Van der Wel, but Van der Wel just struggling to stay close to that fast right-hander. Seems like almost this part of the circuit, so it's the best place to make a lead. You have that long back straight, and then you've got the fast right-hander. If you can stay close to that fast right-hander, you've got then another flat-out section. So really does change the dynamics of this circuit when you take out the chicanes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely make things a bit more interesting with this kind of car. Trying to make a pass in the chicanes might be a bit difficult. The track is very narrow in that section, and having the chance to have this big backstretch with especially the slipstream effect that the Radical has. It's definitely giving us a more passing opportunity and better overall racing, as we look still at John Keaveney in the 11 car, still trying to find a suitable spot to pass Beauchamp. But you can see somehow he's struggling to be close enough in this section to even try to make an attack.
No struggle from you though to pronounce his name. You did pronounce it right. It's Beauchamp, I think. Anyway, we did get some clarification from our broadcast, Mr. Mark Chancer, on that one. I thought he might be close enough there. Can you making it base just dropping kind of a tenth or two, going onto that back straight every single time. I mean, I don't want to be, being at F1 into this, but in F1 it does almost remind me, because that back straight it's also so you've got a DRS zone, and you struggle to stay close to the turbine air for the few corners previous, and then you finally got that long straight gaining. But sometimes the straight just runs out, or that is well over the curve there for Michael Reinhardt, very experienced driver, very accomplished driver in this car. Not having a good time of it actually as Reinhardt. He's down 6 places from his start, so there was a bad start for him. This car really tricky to get off the line. Did suffer from that one on the opening lap. He's in 13th place, seemingly being held up by John Aldridge, who I can only imagine has a bit of damage. Maybe we'll see Reinhardt just cruise on by him here, but in fact actually their straight line speed seems fairly comparable, so the damage not too bad for Aldridge.
Someone having even a worse day is Robert Woodward, that had a slight off last lap and lost a few positions, and now he's quite far from Kyriakopoulos in 19th place. He was fighting for 15th or 16th place, and I think on the last corner there had some contact, lapped the brake actually, and managed to keep the car out of the barriers, but still lost a lot of time, and now he's all the way back in 20th place, 11 seconds from Kyriakopoulos in 19th place.
Yeah, not like Woodward to make a mistake like that. You can see the seed number 10. I think has done every single one of the races that we broadcast of this series on APS Racing TV, proper committed to the series, which is great to see. Now Bubba is a little bit closer this time. He's only half a second behind going onto the back straight. You can see, maybe not visually, it's not obvious, but on the timing tower, easy 10th and a half, almost 2 tenths gained through there. And it's always going to need a 10th, or Castle. I think Castle's may have crashed here. He certainly had an off. Maybe it was just an off. He's lost 2 places though. Wittens and McCutcheon get past him. That's fairly close to Bubba right there. Sure, we'll get a replay of that. Castle's mistake, that right-hander corner with that. These drivers will not be used to taking pretty much every other time I've seen this circuit being used. Always at least one of the chicanes being implemented, but well, that's kind of why we have the chicanes, because you have some pretty big odds at the end of that straight. As we do get a replay of then what happened to Castles. They will be disappointed with this one, as they seem to have a pretty comfortable gap over Wittens, but just seemingly getting too much curb there.
Indeed, we've seen already a few drivers making a mistake here in the race and also in qualifying. You can see he clipped the wall actually, the tire barriers, so it's gonna be very difficult for him now to maintain the gap on the guys behind him, even though Beauchamp is 4 seconds, so still a sizable margin, but we still have halfway to go, so it's gonna be a long race now for Ant Castles in the night car.
Yeah, as Wittens and McCutcheon are very close. Now McCutcheon gained by 3 tenths. That looks like good pace actually here for McCutcheon. He was fairly comparable to the front guys, maybe 1/10 of a second slower than the top 3. That's some representation, isn't it? Well, I think that is a representation, isn't it? So that's just showing how close it's been. So the range from lap 6 to lap, that's incredible. I don't know. No, am I being thick? No, I'm being thick. No, because that's saying it was over a minute at one point, which is not the case by any means. So I don't know what's happening with our SDK overlay there. Don't buy it. Absolutely terrible piece of kit. Here we go. I love this graphic. They don't use it in Formula 1 anymore.
Yeah,
it's a
let's try to avoid Amazon Web Services graphics and stick to all the proper F1 style gap comparisons and timing, lap timings. They are always working better than that.
I mean, it's impressive how they got worse, haven't they? I mean, we could just throw random numbers at the screen and that'd be a way to replicate the current overlay. As Keaveney has got past Bouchard, he finally got close enough, and he is past. Well, Daniel might be able to come back actually into the next corner. He's got a good job. Look at Bell. Around the outside, he's boxed his opponent in. This would be a lovely move to put it on. Really nice work of Daniel after holding back so many jumps for so many laps. He loses 2 places in 2 corners.
Yeah, he tried to defend from Keaveney in the end, trying to make the pass once he lost the position. He might even lose one more now. It's Sander Belle going side by side on the front stretch, but he can't make the move stick, and Daniel Bouchard will now set himself in 9th place as right at the back of this huge midfield pack. We have still Michael Reinhardt with 3 wide in front of him. Let's see if they will be even 3 wide when we get to this very fast left-hander. You can't even do it side by side. Imagine 3 wide, but they all slide back in a single line. And now they will be looking to make a pass work as Reinhardt almost
Halliburton.
back on first. Oh,
So,
this is
sorry
big
to
one.
interrupt, but has Halliburton crashed? No, he's just done cancels, I think, and gone wide at the. Wow. Well, this is Zold all over again from last season when he did a miraculous 360. I think 480 on that kitchen, and it's too much curve again. Oh, has he? Oh, I mean, that's such a carbon copy, isn't it? But he actually missed the wall. He went wider than Castles off the circuit, but he just was able to angle the car. And Kane Halliburton surely thrown away a race win here. I'm absolutely surprised by that, Sancho.
He did some very rare mistake by Halliburton. You can see how, though he managed to avoid the wall, so he will have still a very good car underneath him, but he's too far now to try to get P2 from Kikavin. In the meantime, we also missed the pass of John McCutchinson on Tommy Wittens for 4th place, with the Scottish man moving up a spot while we were looking at the replay. In a very similar move you've seen already in multiple races here at Oulton, but not today so far, Sam. A pass on the last corner.
Yeah, that's when we have the chicanes, that's like the main overtaking spot actually. So yeah, a bit unusual. I haven't seen more of that, but I guess there's other opportunities available for these drivers. I mean, thanks to the community for putting this very nice race on and picking this track layout, because yeah, if we did have even just one of the chicanes, I think it could have been a tad dull, this one. There'd be much of a prospect of overtaking, but this balance is really nice. It's got enough slipstream to make it competitive, but it's not easy to overtake either. So yeah, real nice work there from the calendar coordinators, as Aldridge is going to get overtaken, I think, by Reinhardt. Actually, just side by side are those two. Aldridge staying ahead. Hesterman up there in 14th place now. He started last, did Hesterman, didn't set a qualifying lap, but he's now battling with Doring and Fuentes, just behind.
Keeping the car safe, not making mistake, giving already the chance to move up several places. He might still get a few more since the drivers in front are really pushing hard and working hard to make up a few spots. We've seen already plenty of drivers, also very good drivers, racing for wins in this championship this and last season, making very rare mistakes, especially in this coming corner where you are pretty much flat out almost. And you have to get spot on the entrance and the apex and hit the curve on exit, otherwise you will go for a very wild ride on the outside.
Yeah, it's been an awesome challenge for these drivers. Really do generate a lot of speed, don't you, around? Well, this does, it's not really a slow speed corner. I think the last corner might be the slowest one. That one had a decent amount of speed in these cars. As has been just knocking on the door at the moment. By the way, you may have seen on the left, it's Aldridge. Actually, I wonder if we could get a replay of what happened to Reinhardt and Aldridge. I think Reinhardt managed to get past just a moment ago. But you may have seen a few times on the timing tower, red be highlighted in the position box, and that indicates that Joe has gone over track limits. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've gone, onto the grass. It just means that they've gone beyond the white lines. Yeah, that one's kind of to explain that. I think this Reinhardt move was actually at the end of the back straight, and you can see how close he was previously, and so he just managed to get his rival to fall away slightly from the driver ahead. And eventually Reinhardt made this move fairly easy at the end of the back straight.
Fairly close, so he might have a chance to get a position there, as we are still in lap 16 of 21. And Daniel Beauchamp, we have a replay, made a mistake and dropped all the way down to 15th place. Ooh, hit the grass, managed to not hit the barriers too much, and that was a very, very risky region with the car all the way sideways onto the track, but still 15th place could have been much worse.
Yeah, there's been some close shaves tonight, haven't there? As I think we're just seeing a little bit of track extending here for Aaron Barber. Hasn't lost him the lead, but just offloads over the track. Some mega tight track limits around this place, particularly through turn 3, the downhill left-hander. You can have probably, I think if you have 60% of your car on the circuit, you can still get a 1x. It's a little bit of a silly off-track that iRacing gives you. The instant limit is certainly a threat for these drivers. I thought to be too lenient on it, as Hesterman with a lovely move out on the outside. Wow, well that was superb. He's up into 12th place. As Sandra was pointing out earlier on, just benefiting from other drivers' mistakes. He's on 10 places now at the start. Fuentes, I think, got past Drawing as well, and Beauchamp after that mistake earlier on, be able to get a cut back through the final corner. But Hesterman, I think, with the move of the day there, one of the moves of the season, I think.
Absolutely, it was a beautiful executed pass, and Hesterman definitely shown he belongs to this top split, even though he's the second to last driver, rating wise in the room, is behaving like a proper top split driver, as we look at Eric Hanoi, our football commentator, trying to defend from Michael Reiner for in 9th place. Reiner been very, very close on the backstretch here. He might have a run coming to the very fast right-hander. Let's see if Hanoi will defend the inside. He does not, but Reiner can't make the nose stick, but forces Hanoi to a very big mistake. Oh, someone else in the background, even more sideways on that corner, and slaps the wall on the outside. I think was maybe a old bridge. Very, very nasty.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some drivers nearly hit the wall there, and it's the curb again. Well, to be fair, Aldridge did nothing different to what all the others have done at that corner. Also, certainly Halliburton and Castles were both seen to do that. And he was just unlucky because, that car's not slowing down anytime soon. That's why we have the chicanes in real life, because if that happened in real life, then I think there'd be some problems. Just not enough run on around that part of the track, as Halliburton has caught up to the top 2. He still feels like he could win this race. I mean, he's really running out of time here. We've got 2 laps to go. But on that last lap, he gained by 0.4 of a second. He could certainly get Ming here who hasn't really got particularly close to Barber. I think Barber was getting closer to Halliburton than what Ming has got to Barber. Thought he might be able to get a bit closer than this. He's 0.4 of a second behind at the moment. Maybe that draft from the race leader should help him to defend, but he's wide here, and Halliburton might have a chance across the start-finish line.
He's very close. He might try to have a look at the inside here, as I was thinking. Albert looking at the inside, but he's too far behind and he doesn't get the move stick. But this is my only benefit to our race leader, Erling Baba. It's going to be very hard for Albert, even if he manages to pass Kikeming this lap, to think about getting a P1 in the end, since we have only 2 laps left. But never say never. You've seen mistakes happen, and till the drivers cross the start-finish line, it's never over.
Yeah, that's okay, Copplers we haven't seen too much tonight. So against Franco just ahead. I wonder if we could just actually peel back to Halliburton, because he's fairly close to Ming here. He's only 0.2 of a second behind. I'm just thinking if he can get a good run through the right hand, he might have a good chance. It's the next corner now. It's a good run there for Ming to be there. Absolutely nothing wrong with that one. And Halliburton's a little bit further back than he was on the last lap. Ming almost identical back from Barber. They've only got 1 more lap to go. Barber has been absolutely sensational. Remember, 2-time winner in this championship last season. Won a brilliant race at Road America, beating Pablo Lopez on a run to the line, and then also managed to win at Zolderwen. Of course, Halliburton made a mistake, which gave up the race leaders. Ming really closes in here. Wow, that was within 0.2 of a second going onto the pit straight. I think that must have been a mistake there from Barber through the final corner. And well, if Ming can stay this close the next couple of corners here, Alessandro, we might have a race down the back straight for the final lap.
Oh, sure. Ming will try to get a nice run, and who knows, maybe Halliburton can just hang a little bit back and profit from someone else's mistake. But you can see here Ming not having a very good entrance of the corner. He's too far to attempt an attack on Baba, but Halliburton is so close, he might even try to make a pass here.
Here we go then for the final time. Just that turbulent wake just affecting Ming a little bit, but he still is really nice, that right hander, and this could be a move here on into the next right, because we've got a flat out section here. Can he look to the inside for the final couple of corners of the race? There could be an opportunity into the final corner. Halliburton runs wide, but he's got to go defensive here. Barber, surely if he's going to win this race, Ming goes to the inside, but Barber just cuts off the line. It was too narrow, and it will be Aaron Barber to take his first race win of the season. But boy, was it close near the end of the race. An absolute classic here at Oulton Park. Ming beats Halliburton. McCutcheon and Whitton rounding out the top 5. Castles, despite the damage finishes in 6th place, beating Keaveney, who qualified low. And the rest of the just have come across the line. Fuentes fairly close to Beauchamp at the moment, but I don't think there's going to be a move for 12th position. Yeah, it's pretty close across the line, maybe 1 more lap there. And yeah, very little other changing. Here comes Kyrikopoulos on Franco. And again, maybe needed 1 more lap to get that one done. But really nice race, and I was taken a little bit aback there, to be honest, Sanjay, because I thought Barber had that one in the bag. But he just kind of made 1 mistake, didn't he, on that penultimate lap. It put Ming in range, and Ming nearly capitalised on it. But really high quality driving there from the top 2.
Absolutely, Baba made a very small mistake, and the draft gave the chance to Kikeming to come back and even try for a pass on the last corner. But it wasn't enough, and indeed Erin Baba is our round 2 broadcast race winner here for the Radical Racing Challenge in front of Kikeming. 2 tenths separating them on the line. Kane Halliburton has been very fast, but unfortunately made a very rare mistake and ended up in 3rd place. 4th for John McCutcheon, 5th place for Tommy Wittens, followed by Ant Castle, John Keaveney, Connor Bell, Michael Reinhardt and Eric Hanoi rounding up the top 10, followed by Johannes Esterman, our biggest mover of the race, with 11 places gain, starting on the way back in 22nd. Daniel Beauchamp in 12, Pepe Fuentes 13, Michael Doring, Domenico Franco, Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Dylan Frackleton, Robert Woodward, and followed by drivers multiple laps down, John Aldridge, Paul Taylor, Manu Rayo Largo, who has been very unfortunate to start hitting a car who was very, very slow on the start, and Sander Velle in 22nd place. So while we wait for someone to join us here in the interview booth, Sam, I would like to thank also some of our sponsors of our beautiful broadcast, like Virtual Racing School. Especially if you want to join us here in the Radical iRacing Challenge, you can improve your driving style and on-track performance with the Radical Data Packs and many others road and oval racing data packs. Get help from the best coaches like for the Radical Pablo Lopez, track guides, data analysis softwares, coaching sessions, and also is integrated with our own Apex Racing Academy with plenty of World Championship drivers helping you out with group coaching sessions, setups, and plenty of tips whenever you may need them. So make sure to check them both out.
Absolutely. There we see the restart or the start of the race. I wonder if anything we could actually get an onboard of Largo of that start, because maybe in slow motion as well, because well, they can see Aldridge just absolutely so slow, wasn't he? Like the blue, white and orange car just going backwards off the line. So did really wreck the rest of his evening. But one man whose evening was not wrecked by any means was Aaron Bubba, who to accompany the 2 wins he managed to achieve last season, has also been able to apologies, along with the 2 wins last season, he's also been able to pick up his first race win of this season as well. Congratulations there. And first up, those last couple of laps, it seemed to be getting a little bit tight there. I mean, you looked comfortable against Kiko for the whole race, and then all of a sudden he was nearly got past you, but you just held on.
Yeah, hey guys. It was really tough race. I don't know what happened after lap 20, I think. In 19, the tires they began to feel like a little bit more loose. So I don't know what happened. And normally I use the same braking points, but in the tension of being first, and not making any mistake, you tend to brake a little bit late, and then the last corner is really difficult to keep the car in balance, because it's the most difficult corner of the track. But I made a small mistake there, but fortunately I was able to defend a little bit. I know how Kike raced, so I was feeling the pressure. Even in the beginning of the race, a bit sandwiched between Kane and Kike, I was planning to attack, but then I thought, but if we lose time, then we have to fight for 3. So I was waiting, and then fortunately Kane, he made a little mistake there, so I was able to keep the lead after that.
When you were behind Kane, did you think that the turbulent air was stronger than the draft, or do you think it was the other way around?
Yeah, you have to be very, very careful. If you are behind someone that is fast, you have to lift in some corners. You have to lift and brake earlier because it's really twitchy. You get a lot of understeer in some corners, and then on the corner exits also. So you have to be careful. I don't like. I personally I like being up front, even though maybe it's slower. But I like to be up front, because the dirty air, I don't like it, especially with this new setup combo tires. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think we spoke to you last week, and you were saying how you were struggling to get the tires up to speed. I mean, that seems a lot better this week. I mean, in qualifying you were very strong, so how have you improved that?
I didn't do anything special, but on the outlap, normally with the new tire models, with the new setups, you have to lap 1 after the outlap is garbage anyway, so you need to warm up the tires even on the first lap of qualifying, so that you can have better tires on the second lap. So I knew first lap, okay, you can push for a fast lap on the first one, but it doesn't matter anyway. So I was warming up the tires a little bit more by weaving and something like this. So the second lap I made some small mistakes because otherwise I would have pole with 1:18.9, but on the last corner I lost a lot. So, but I was happy to be behind Kane or in front of Kane. So if you are in the top 3, it's really good.
Absolutely. Next week, we've got the Slipstream circuit of all Slipstream circuits. It is Monza. Now, again, if I recall correctly, I'm not sure how big a fan you are of those Slipstream circuits, but you must be looking forward to that one. I mean, we could be seeing the whole grid all fighting for the lead in that one. I mean, that should be fun.
I know, guys. It's the Draft Fest tracks. They are something special because you get even the drivers who are not as fast. They can catch up to you, especially on Monza, Le Mans, these kind of tracks. So I'm sure it's gonna be interesting, but I don't know how it will end. But sometimes with the draft, some drivers that tend to be a little more aggressive. They think, oh, okay, now I got him, now I have the pace. I'm not particularly fan of these tracks, but yeah, if they're on the calendar, you have to drive them. Road America was also a draft fest, but it ended well for almost everybody, I think. So I'm looking forward to it to next week, actually.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck for that one.
Thank you, guys.
And is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
As always, you guys, and then a buddy of mine, Tommy Wittens, he ended P5. He just started the Radical League, and he's doing very, very good. He has awesome pace. I think in a few weeks we will hear from him because he's getting up to pace really fast.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Aaron, and congratulations on another race win.
Thank you, guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Aaron, Barbara, they're your race winner. And remember that's now 3 race wins in the 14 races we've broadcast on Apex Racing TV, which is, considering that Pablo Lopez has won like 7 of them, it's impressive that Aaron has got quite that many. Alessandro, who would you like to have a chat with next?
Let's follow the standings order at the end of the race, and let's have a quick chat also with Ant Cassos, a man that for sure has shown a lot of speed, but I think he will be delighted to have finished 6th anyway today, because that off was very, very scary.
Yeah, I got too greedy and it cost me. I knew John was coming for the last 5 or 6 laps, and I thought he was going to get me, to be honest, but managed to hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. You are showing a great pace so far in the opening 2 rounds, and I think also next week going to such a particular racetrack. Hopefully you guys are more excited than I am, because next week it's a Monza time, so it's you can have a shot for the win there. Anyone can. Are you looking forward for that, or are you one of the guys that don't really like these big draft festivals?
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan, but you just have to get used to it in this car. Monza's always a bit of a mess through T1, so hopefully we can all keep it straight. The start today was a bit crazy. I thought I was going to be pushed into the wall, but managed to keep it away.
Have you ever driven here with the chicane layout? I wanted to ask you, since this Radical is very well suited for this kind of layout with no chicanes, and definitely had a lot, I think, today with some passing opportunities. Maybe with the chicanes it could have been a bit more complicated for you to make passes for around here.
Yeah, I can't really remember, to be honest with you. I've run this several times in this car, so I prefer this one, to be honest, just for the speed of that straight. But trying to hold on to those guys at the front, yeah, I knew it was going to be only a 5-lap thing, and then the gap started to happen.
Oh, indeed, once the gaps open up, it's a very, very difficult, since you guys are so fast and the gaps are so minimal in qualifying. But the show you're putting on every week is absolutely amazing. Anyone you would like to thank, Ant, before we let you go?
Hey, good luck to all the Pure Motorsport cars tomorrow in the Sebring 12 hour. I'll be taking part. It's probably a bit of a lack of practice this week. It's cost me tonight, but there we go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Big event coming tomorrow. Best of luck also from all of us guys, and thanks for coming by, Ant.
Guys.
That was Ant Castle, 6th place finisher today here at Oulton Park. I think Sam, we have still one more driver we can chat to. It's Daniel Boscham finishing in 12th place today.
Yes. Welcome, Mr. Beauchamp.
Yeah.
Right?
I felt so bad about it. I felt so embarrassed after last week for doing that. You can actually pronounce my name however you want.
No. We should pronounce it correctly because we don't do much good in this commentary box. We get most things wrong, so we try to get the names done correctly. 12th position tonight. But you're really in the wars throughout. There was never a moment where you weren't battling other drivers. If I recall correctly, in the early parts of the race, you had quite a few drivers lining up behind you. It seemed like just once one got past you, it was tricky to keep behind the rest.
Yeah, I was leading the second train pretty much, I think. I dropped back after lap 1 because I locked up in the on the last corner in lap 1. But yeah, I think once John got past me, I just lost some momentum. I can't quite remember where it happened. And then later on, I made a similar mistake to last week and spun. So that put me back into 13th or 14th or something, and I was only able to get back up into 12.
How did you find this Oulton Park circuit? Because I know it feels... when we were watching it, it looks fast, even though the fact that it's a fairly what you think of being quite a tight, twisty circuit. I think the fact that it's so narrow almost makes it look a bit faster than if you were at like a GP circuit. I know it looks like a lot of fun, basically, to me.
Yeah, I mean it does feel quite fast without the chicanes, especially. Like, I mean the two slowest corners still feel pretty rapid, especially the Shell's oil hairpin. Because you can really dig into the camber and really launch yourself out of it. Yeah, it does feel like quite a fast track. I guess also you got Nicker Brooks and the second from last corner. I can't remember the name, but both of those corners are very, very light on the brake, and you really have to glide the car through in a graceful manner.
We got Monza next up. What are your ambitions for that race? Because it's a big level playing field, is that circuit. You must be thinking, I could sneak a race win here, or what are you thinking about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I want to focus on is just making less mistakes. If I can get into, I guess, like the top 7, maintaining my position from lap 1 from this race, that made me pretty happy for next week. But Monza isn't a track I'm that familiar with, actually, despite its popularity, so I'll have a lot of practice to do.
We wish you the best of luck for that one, Daniel. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Aaron, congratulations on the win. Really nice drive. And you guys, really nice commentary. You guys are great.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Daniel. You'll get a little bit of favoritism for that one for the next round.
That's what I was gunning for, Sam.
Well, yeah, but we'll take it either way. Thanks for having a chat with us. See you next time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Daniel Beauchamp there. Beauchamp. He finished
It's
12th
alright,
place.
Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I've got so many names wrong after the years. Wanna forgive my sins, But here we are. Well, here's the onboard actually for Ilago off the start, I think, and kind of how tricky it was for him to avoid the very slow starting Aldridge just ahead of him. And so easy, also tricky in these cars
Look
anyway.
at
You can
that.
see, well, in fact, Aldridge was actually moving across himself. I don't think deliberately, but just with the wheel spin, and then I think he'll get down into turn 1. He will have no steering, Alessandro.
I think he has already a broken suspension here. Look at the steering. And that's day over already before he even did a single right-hander today for Manu Raiolario. So very, very unfortunate. Then you see here some more carnage in turn 1. Definitely a very interesting start of the race, taking out one of the fastest guys in the field. So hopefully Manu can bounce back next week at Monza.
Yes. A word on Monza. Because I mean, it's not my favorite circuit to drive on. I think it's pretty good. I'm not usually a big fan of low downforce circuits because you end up running so little wing that all the corners just become a pain. But in terms of the raceability, it's going to be mad. Just a reminder to the viewers. The slipstream kicks in this car at 1.8 seconds. It's a bit of a switch as well. I mean, the slipstream's strong at 1.8 seconds. And we had a mega race around Spa last season. I mean, unless someone makes a break like that in the early stages, it will be easy to keep up. As you see, Halliburton's off earlier on. So that could really go to anyone. I think that's going to be a bit of a lottery, to be honest, Sandra, and a bit like musical chairs as well, with everyone moving about all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a wild race. Hopefully drivers will make it through the first chicanes unscraped, because it's always a bit tricky. But I know they are gonna do a great race. The level in this field is absolutely amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward for that one next Friday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that one. Of course, that'll be same time once again. Though the clocks change. I think the clocks might be changing on Sunday. So, check on that one. But it will still be the same time in terms of GMT for that next round of the championship. Yeah, so certainly do check it out. And of course, check out this Radical car as well, because Oulton Park is a free circuit. If you're new to iRacing in particular, give the Radical a go. It's such a fun car, and in recent seasons the participation has gone skyrocketing. You can find an official race I think most hours of the day. So yeah, head over to the Radical section in iRacing and get yourself signed up for a practice session. All fixed set up for member as well, so you can get up to pace really, really quickly. Of course, big thanks to our supporters on Apex Racing TV, SDK Gaming, Virtual Racing School, and Apex Racing Academy for them helping us out. Thanks to you guys for watching. And of course, if you've enjoyed this broadcast, please do leave a like on it, because then you're more likely to get recommended these broadcasts in future weeks. And also subscribe as well to Apex Racing TV, because you can watch all of our racing featuring prototypes, GTs, single-seaters, and absolutely all sorts. And check out our social media as well. We're planning on doing a bit more social media in the future. So check out Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all of our platforms over there. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Alessandro Dalladone, and from Mark Trenter, it is Aaron Barber taking his first race win of the season. We will see you back for week 3 of the championship at Monza. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.